Okay, it looks like we have a full house here. So, there we are. I'm going to go ahead and call us to order. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 23rd, 2021 meeting of the Council of the City of Lancaster. Mr. Harris, would you be so kind as to call the roll of members?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Arroyo.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Ms. Craig. Ms. Craig, you're muted.
I think she
I believe
might be frozen.
She might be frozen.
We'll come back to her. Ms. Diaz.
Here.
Mr. Garcia Molina.
Here.
Mr. Soto.
Here.
President Smith-Waddell.
Here, and I believe I just heard Councilor Craig indicate in the affirmative. Yep, okay. Oh, she popped out. I think she's going to pop back in. While we're waiting for that, I do want to let everyone know that right before this meeting at 6 p.m., Council held an executive session to discuss a disability pension matter regarding a city employee. And we have Councilor Craig back. Excellent. With that, we'll move to approving the minutes of the February 9th meeting of Council. I'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilor Soto and a second. Council comments. Okay, hearing none, Mr. Harris.
Mr. Arroyo.
Aye.
Ms. Baker.
Aye.
Ms. Craig.
Aye.
Ms. Diaz.
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina.
Aye.
Mr. Soto.
Aye.
And President Smith-Waddell.
Aye. All right, the minutes are approved. That moves us to proclamations, honors, awards, and resolutions of recognition. On deck, we have, after long last, and thank you for bearing with me, everyone, Council Resolution number 9, 2021, recognizing February of 2021 as Black History Month. I did have Mr. Harris send this out today, and the resolution specifically recognizes the place of Lancaster City in Black History Month, in the celebration of Black history, and where we are, and includes some exhortations as to where we might go in the future. And I would happily hear a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Well, I've done my little song and dance routine about it. So are there any council comments or questions?
Can I read the title, Mr. President?
If you must. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
A resolution of the Council of the City of Lancaster designated February 2021 as Black History Month in the City of Lancaster and urging all citizens of Lancaster to participate in this celebration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Council questions, comments? From the public. Nope.
Mr. President, sorry.
Councilor Bakay, please.
I just wanted to thank you for including mention of the activism to desegregate the Rocky Springs amusement park and pool as an activity around the civil rights movement that happened in Lancaster. I think it was really important for the folks here to remember that was, a really important part of the fight here locally, and that we were not separate from the rest of the country in that way.
Indeed. Okay. Any comments from the public? All right. Hearing none, Mr. Harris.
Mr. Arroyo.
Aye.
Ms. Baker.
Aye.
Ms. Craig.
Aye.
Ms. Diaz.
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina.
Aye.
Mr. Soto.
Aye.
And President Smith-Waddell.
Aye. Thank you all very much. That moves us to our first public comment period, reserved for those persons who have contacted the city clerk prior to the meeting to request the opportunity to address city council. As always, the duration of comments is limited to 3 minutes. Mr. Harris, do we have any this evening?
Yes, we do, Mr. President. First, we should have Ray Hay.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to our council meeting. So just so you know, public comments at the top of a meeting typically limited to 3 minutes, and we ask all participants to just start by giving us their name and where they live. But the 100 block is typically okay. So I live at 340 College Avenue, and so it's fine to say 300 College Avenue, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. If you don't want to give your specific address, but please take it away.
Hi, my name is Ray Hay, and I am from Mannheim, PA. I am going to be talking about decalling today. So I'm just going to share my thing. Okay, 1 second. Can everybody see it?
We can see it. Hey.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Lancaster City Council members. We, the 8th graders of the Stone Independent School, come to you today to ban decalling. Decalling was invented in the 1950s when cats started living with humans indoors. The practice became normal for indoor cats and are still practiced till this day. The Prowl Project is where we learned about decalling and got the idea to try and ban decalling. They did the same thing as us, but in California in 2009, and went to local government and tried to ban decalling. They were able to ban decalling in West Hollywood, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and 5 other places in California. We also reached out to ask how they were doing, and they said they were doing great, and that their message has spread through America and through the world. I'm sure if you've heard of cat decalling, but do you know what it actually is? Cat decalling is a common procedure that cat owners make when their cat is being destructive to furniture or scratching any members of the household. This procedure can be performed on any size cat. When they are being declawed, the tips of the toes get cut off. This would be the equivalent of fingers being cut off at the first knuckle. After the surgery, it leaves the cats without their claws, which is the main trait of the cat. After declawing, bone fragments are left in the paw, almost like a pebble in a shoe. The bone tries to regrow, and the surrounding area becomes sensitive and possibly infected, while pus fills the gaps left by the removed bone. This can lead to arthritis in the paws, arms, and back. This also can lead to cats not using the kitty litter and using other places in the house to do their business. It also can lead to mental problems like biting and relationship issues, and potentially leading to the cat getting thrown out of the household, leaving them defenseless because they do not have claws. You can save these cats from the horrible pain and use different alternatives than decalling. Some of these alternatives are rubber cats for cats' nails, or just simply trimming the nails of the cats every 2 weeks. When cats declawed, they stop being cats. By banning decalling, we can save thousands of cats' lives, with other places that ban decalling like West Hollywood, New York, and many more. Consider this, and above all, consider them.
Great. Thank you.
And if I think James Adams is here, he would like to add on something too.
Yep. So we are just for the sake of our procedure, I'm just gonna ask Mr. Harris who the next comment is from, and Mr. Harris will tee it up.
That's totally fine.
And that would be James Adams, yes.
Great. Ms. Strazo? Hey, good evening, James.
Good evening.
Great. James, if you could just start with your name and your municipality.
My name is James Adams, and I live in Mannheim Township, Pennsylvania.
All right. Please proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to follow up with Ray's announcement. Just say that at the Stone Independent School, we are very passionate about this issue. And we've discovered really what a huge problem it is, that it's banned all over the world already. And I just really like to urge you, the members of the City Council, to consider putting into place a ban on the barbaric practice of declawing cats in Lancaster City. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Mr. Harris, do we have any other comments?
We do, Mr. President. The last one is Jolie Abadir.
Ms. Strazo?
So,
Hey, good evening. If you could
good
just start
evening.
with your full name and your municipality and then take it away.
Okay. I'm Jolie from Stone Independent School, and I live in Conestoga Valley, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I stand by my classmate Rhea and her statement. The vets that perform these surgeries know what they're doing to these cats. They keep performing these surgeries because of the extreme amount of money they make from these procedures. It'd be extremely unsettling to know that your doctor was intentionally harming you without telling you the risks of a useless procedure. Is this how cats should be treated? I don't think so. More and more cats are ending up in shelters because of behavior problems rooting from these procedures, causing people to abandon them. My mom's cat was declawed. Her cat developed behavioral problems from being declawed. The cat was also an indoor and outdoor cat. This gave her no way to defend herself. My current cat is indoor and outdoor. If she was declawed and needed to escape any other animal by climbing up a tree or such, she wouldn't be able to, and that would put her in an immense amount of danger. Save the cats in Lancaster City so there aren't more of them suffering each year from immense pain, health issues, and abandonment. Thank you so much for taking this time to listen to our statements, and please consider banning cat declawing in Lancaster City.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, do we have any other public comments?
No one else that had contacted us in advance, Mr. President.
Well, Ray, James, Jolie, thank you very much for taking the time to reach out. It's crucial at any age or position in life to engage with your municipal leaders, and we'll absolutely consider what you've said here today. And my hope is that you're clearly very passionate about this issue, and my hope is that you will go to your home municipalities and ask them for similar. To take similar action. All right, Mr. Harris, that brings us to reports requested by council. Do we have any?
We do not tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. And I assume the same for interim reports of committees of council.
That's true, Mr. President.
Excellent. That brings us to our legislative agenda. Mr. Harris, go ahead.
Considering the following application and recommendation from the Historical Commission for improvement to a property within the Heritage Conservation District, we have one tonight. That's Joe Musgavero, owner of 756 St. Joseph Street, proposes construction of a new 255 square foot, one-story frame residential structure on vacant ground. And that recommendation was recommended for approval by the Historical Commission.
I'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. This one was recommended for approval. So are there any council comments or questions? Comments or questions from the public regarding this item? All right. Hearing none. Mr. Harris?
Mr. Roy,
Aye.
Ms. Baker,
Aye.
Ms. Craig,
Aye.
Ms. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Aye.
Mr. Soto,
Aye.
and President Smith Waydell.
Aye. All right, that brings us to ordinances for final passage. Administration Bill number 5, 2021. Mr. Harris?
Yes, Mr. President. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Lancaster, amending sections 4 of both Administrative Bill number 8, 2017, and Administrative Bill number 9, 2017, to authorize the use of funds received by Land City Connect, Special Revenue Fund, and funds received as loan repayments pursuant to Resolution number 15, 2017, to be used to settle any and all disputes with Mall Communications, Inc., pay costs associated with the operation of Land City Connect, including internet service fees, pay fees and costs from consultants and others utilized in determining the best uses of the city's fiber optic cable, and for other similar uses associated with the unwinding of the city's municipal carrier agreement with Mall Communications, Inc., providing for the repeal of inconsistent ordinances, providing for the severability of the ordinance, and providing that the ordinance shall take effect in accordance with Pennsylvania law. The title is President.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Councilor Bakay?
Thank you. So we have discussed this at committee. We've had a first reading of this ordinance, and the title is very encompassing of what we're trying to do here. But essentially, this allows us to amend 2 ordinances from 2017 to use funds that were already allocated for the purposes of a fiber network to settle agreements with Mall Communications and end our relationship with them and retain ownership of the existing fiber optic network. I'll defer to Mr. Hopkins if there's anything else he'd like to add. At this time, we've spoken at length about this previously.
Thanks, Councilor Bakay. I really don't have anything to add. As you said, Barry Handwerger and I provided the presentation of this issue at the February committee meeting. We're talking about essentially a reallocation of or reauthorization of funds that council has already allocated towards the fiber project. And this will allow us to move forward with a separation agreement with Mall and that relationship, and then begin our begin the new process to identify partners and plan for the future.
Excellent. Are there other council comments?
Yes, Mr. President, I do have a question.
Please.
Is there an estimate of how much money from the time we started with the arbitration or fighting this, how much taxpayer money has been allocated, including the separation? I'm just getting questions from some of the constituents concerning their tax money and why we had to wait this long and spend so much money on a settlement now.
So the information, and I don't have that up on my screen right now, but the information that we had provided in the presentation in February outlined what we had provided to Mall in the operating capital loan, which was $1.5 million. What was paid to Mall for the fiber project itself, which was about $2.2 million. And that includes the purchase of fiber, installation of the fiber, the building of the 2 remote switching stations that are on city property, and all of the other effort that went into installing the fiber. And then about $391,000 for subsidies that went to Mall for the residential connections for the Land City Connect. I have a further breakdown that I can provide to council that has the legal fees. We also talked about that at the, I think it was actually at the first during the first reading presentation, to provide you the information on the legal fees that we've incurred really since the beginning back to 2014. And I can send that information as a follow-up to this meeting. The other thing I am reminded of that during the first reading, I believe there was a question from President Smith-Waddell about the pole attachment fees. That fee is $34.24 per pole per year. I had emailed that out to all council, but since this is the public meeting part, I thought I ought to give you that information also.
Thank you, Patrick.
Sure.
Thank you, Councilor Diaz. Are there any other council comments or questions? And from the public? If you've not done this previously, you're just gonna hit the little raise hand button at the bottom of your screen if you have a comment or a question. Okay, not seeing any. Mr. Harris.
Mr. Roya,
Aye.
Ms. Baker,
Aye.
Ms. Craig,
She's probably frozen.
Aye.
Ms. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Aye.
Mr. Soto,
Aye.
and President Smith-Waddell.
Aye. All right. That concludes our legislative agenda and brings us to our second public comment period. This is reserved for items that are not already discussed on the agenda. Of course, the rules are the same. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of notifications. If everyone would bear with me as I disable the sound on my email. Anyway, as I was saying, these comments are limited to 3 minutes. Of course, start by giving us your name and your address. Again, you can indicate that you'd like to make a comment by hitting the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. Now is the time.
Mr. President, if I could jump in here and just provide the reminder that we need to have the disability pension motion reviewed and voted on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I totally neglected to add that to the agenda.
And as that was really a committee of the whole, any member of council can make the initial motion.
That's correct. That slipped my mind entirely. What's the resolution number?
It's not a resolution. It doesn't have to be done by resolution. It's simply that motion that I circulated to council along with the invite for the meeting. I believe Councilor Bakay probably has it in front of her.
I have it up in front of me. I'm more than glad to do that. We'll rewind a little bit and back into the legislative agenda.
Yes.
So there should be there should be a motion to add that to the agenda and a second and a vote on that to add it to the agenda. And then we'll do the vote on the motion itself.
Perfect. Then I will make a motion to add our item from executive session to our agenda this evening.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Council comments on the motion. All right, hearing none. Mr. Harris.
Mr. Roya,
Aye.
Ms. Baker,
Aye.
Ms. Craig,
Aye.
Ms. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Aye.
Mr. Soto,
Aye.
and President Smith-Waddell.
Aye. All right. And so now that it has been added to the agenda, I guess we are at the end of our legislative agenda where we could take up such a motion. Mr. Harris, you look like you're primed and ready to say something.
I was just going to say that now would be the motion itself.
All right.
Terrific. I still have it in front of me. I would be more than happy to do that.
Please.
So members of council, City Council met in executive session to review the disability pension application of Officer Brittany Boreka.
Porika.
Porika, thank you very much. Based on the information provided to councilors during the executive session, in accordance with the separation agreement entered into between the City of Lancaster and Officer Brittany Porika, and upon unanimous recommendation of the Bureau of Police Officers Relief, the Police Pension Board, I hereby move to approve Officer Porika's application for disability pension and for the effective date of the disability benefit to be March 1st, 2021.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Are there council comments on the motion? All right, anybody from the public? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Harris.
Mr. Roya,
Aye.
Ms. Baker,
Aye.
Ms. Craig,
Aye.
Ms. Diaz,
Aye.
Mr. Garcia Molina,
Aye.
Mr. Soto,
Aye.
and President Smith-Waito.
Aye. All right.
Thank you.
That's approved. Thank you, Patrick, for the reminder, and thank you, Councilor Baker. All right. Again, we are into our second public comment period in the event that anybody would like to make a public comment. Okay. Hearing none, we move to the report of the mayor.
Good evening, Council. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share a couple of updates with you. We have two great pieces of news tonight, both centered on the first comprehensive plan for the City of Lancaster since 1993. The comprehensive plan will guide the city's policies and decision-making related to the growth and community development for the next decade and beyond. And I can't emphasize what an exciting and formative opportunity this is for our city to shape our future. So the first piece of news is that the request for proposals for consultants to lead the city through the comprehensive planning process will go live tomorrow and will be open for 6 weeks. City staff will be tasked with selecting the top 3 proposals and seeking input from the comprehensive plan community. The comprehensive plan committee, Lancaster Equity, and the City Alliance. The bid can be found tomorrow at cityoflancasterpa.com/bids. The plan will give our neighbors, residents and businesses alike, a say in priorities. And in fact, our neighbors are already shaping this process. The Comprehensive Plan Committee has been guiding the process since the beginning and is comprised of 19 diverse committee members who are involved in neighborhood organizations, local businesses, or community service. This committee is preparing for their role through trainings on community and regional planning, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and decision-making and consensus building. The the Comprehensive Plan Committee will aid in the selection of the Comprehensive Plan consultant and consult with the city on communications, public engagement, and policy issues from the perspective of residents. We are committed to making sure that every voice is heard in this process, and community outreach will emphasize language access. We'll utilize our new online engagement platform, which I hope all of you have signed up for and are getting familiar with. More projects continue to be added to engage Lancaster and to also meet with residents in all of our neighborhoods. We've been fortunate to receive grants totaling $175,000 from 3 philanthropic organizations to support the planning process, including the very competitive Partners for Places grant to support embedding equity in our plan. And now the second piece of news is that we just heard today that we are selected as one of just 5 host cities in the country who will be hosting an Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Fellow from the Urban Sustainability Directors Network. This comes with a financial award to hire a summer fellow to work directly with the planning staff and the Department of Neighborhood Engagement on the community outreach for the comp plan. So we're really excited about this. The program is going to help build the pipeline of diverse sustainability professionals and leaders nationwide, and is committed to attracting, training, and retaining members from communities underrepresented in the sustainability field. including Black, Indigenous, and people of color practitioners. The position posting will be public soon, and we hope that you will help us share that posting when it's available. And lastly, I just want to give a huge thank you to all of those who have worked so hard to get us to this point. The 19 neighbors serving on the CPC, our partner organization and funders, and the talented city staff. And with a special thank you to Joe Landis, Emma Hom, Douglas Smith, and our Director of Community Planning and Economic Development, Chris Delfs, for their hard work to get this started. And this really was an opportunity to make lemons out of lemonade, because we've obviously had to shift our timeline because of COVID. And so we did proceed with all of the pre-planning efforts to get us to this point, which really shaped the RFP, which, as I mentioned earlier, will go live tomorrow. So just wanted to give council a bit of an update about what's happening with the comp plan process.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Oh, pardon me. Thank you very much, Mayor. I do not have a report, so we can move directly to council comments. Councilors. All right. If there are no council comments, we move now to everyone's favorite part of the agenda, and I will hear a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right. We are adjourned. Everyone have a good evening. Stay safe. I hear it's supposed to be 50 degrees tomorrow, so take that as you will. Good night.
Bye.
Good night,
Right, thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.